All right. Good evening, everyone. A very warm welcome to Artits workshop Kalakar, Atmanirbhar Kalakaar event, and this is indeed a wonderful opportunity to have everyone who are present on this workshop today. It gives us immense pleasure to also introduce the speaker for this evening, Dr. Mamata Bhagwat, madam. Ma'am, very warm welcome to this event. It is a great pleasure having you on this event. Thank you so much for agreeing to be part of this event and helping us and our audience, a lot of artists, a lot of people from different backgrounds, to kind of help them with the very concern of the health, the wellness, and the lifestyles that is for us and for now and for the future that we are into. Right. So thank you so much for being part of this workshop. You most Can you hear this? Ma'am, you are on mute.
My pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you
Indeed.
so. Okay. Well, I'll quickly discuss a little bit about what this event is about and why actually we are doing this event. Right. I mean, we have now sailed through almost a year in wonderful times. I will say it as wonderful time because it has taught us so many things. The very COVID situation. So a lot of people are here today to kind of get the kind of first breath of how and when, and typically if it is about to know what exactly this COVID situation is about and how one has to overcome, right? How the struggle has been, how it has impacted the health and lifestyle, and it's all, I think it's only but painful for many of them, but it's also an opportunity for us. Thankfully, things have changing. Things will get better, and so it's always good to get experts' view on what the situation is all about. And coming from your perspective and your specifically to your domain, how Ayurveda, right? It has helped so many folks, and how do you see this situation overcoming, right? So I think that also is one of the biggest reason why we wanted to have this session, especially for artists, because we have seen a lot of artists over a lot of people going into depressions, a lot of things on the family, on the health, on the kids or the elders. I think it's going on, and then it's only going to impact for some more time to come, right? So I think that's where this situation was another reason why we kind of are organizing this event, and specifically our topic of health and wellness. We really believe this inputs from you is going to help our artists, right? So with that, I think I'll take another minute to introduce the speaker today, Dr. Mamata Bhagwat. She's a reputed Ayurveda fraternity, folks. I mean, she's been part of all the well-known institutes that is labeled as Ayurveda, right? In the areas of Ayurveda, she's an expert. She has been a faculty, teacher, professor, event organizer, not just for the community in India, but across the world. She's presented several talks, several seminars, webinars, among the elite audiences in India and USA. And she's currently professor and HOD at Kaya Chikitsa at Bapuji Ayurveda Medical College. She was also in charge principal at Shushruta Ayurvedic Medical College, a reputed one, and she is expert in Sanskrit literature as well, right? So it's again fantastic to know that. And she's member of several leading Ayurveda related institutes and organizations. She's been counseling several fraternities from all the sectors, right? And all the students, I'm sure as a teacher and faculty, she's been with the students all her times, right? So that's something good to know, that day in day out a lot of research goes in when you're interacting with the in the especially in the medical field of teaching, right? So she has hands-on experience on that too. And on that, she's also an expert, and she's delivered talks on some of the special topics, right? Like Manas Roga, and what are the different terminologies, what are the different approaches in Ayurvedic way. I mean, I also started off telling about the very COVID situation. I think we will hear more from her, right? With that said, I think once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for honoring us and accepting this invite to be part of ARTED's health and wellness program for artists. And uh, welcome once again, and I'll leave it to you. to take the next 15-20 minutes, and kindly drive us through all your inputs, all your suggestions, and cover as much possible that you think in good interest of this audience today, and also some of the key suggestions that you wish to offer for our audience. And following to that, folks, we will also have interactive sessions. We will leave the questions open. You can continue to send your questions as we speak, as we discuss through in the chat, and then we'll also discuss once we are done with ma'am's presentation. That's it. Thank you so much for all for participating. Ma'am, over to you.
Good evening, everybody. And before beginning the session, let me thank Mr. Abhijit Prahlad, uh, Art Ed Foundation, for giving me this opportunity to share something, a very different one. My field is always Ayurveda, and I am connected to an art family. So I know the connection between art and health. So with this background, I think I can give some stuffs to you so that it will be helpful in the career of an artist and in this COVID pandemic situation also. So
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
yesterday, when I was given some key points, I was really afraid because the key points were nearly about 20. And if I take up all the issues, it goes on up to 5 hours or so. So I thought of taking some 3 or 4 important issues, and definitely we can discuss all those points, whichever you would like to interact with me. As a doctor, as an Ayurveda expert, and as a healthcare specialist, whatever is possible from medical Ayurveda fraternity, I can give you. I will try to give you. So let me start sharing the screen. I have prepared some slides so that it will be easy for people to follow, rather than simply going on talking. And it is well known that a person can concentrate about 20 minutes, and the visual media is the most effective media. So rather than being just audio, let me make it video also. So let me start the screen. Abhijit, can you please able me to share the screen? If you make me co-host, I can share the screen.
Yes, I have given you an access now. You can share your screen.
Thank you so much.
And the phone
So my specialty is in Ayurveda. I'm a practitioner in Bangalore. Basically, I have a clinic, Ayurmetrics, based in Bangalore. So out of 22 years of clinical experience and 20 years of teaching experience, I would like to talk something about Ayurveda and health and fitness, health and wellness. So, can all the audience please mute yourself so that the session may go uninterrupted? Can everybody please mute yourself? Agrim ji, Agrim Mehta ji?
Yes, ma'am.
Please do. Thank you so much. And when I was given a topic, Atmanirbharata, health and wellness topic, the first thing that strikes to my mind is, what is Atmanirbharata? That is self-dependence, self-reliance. When you are self-dependent and self-reliant, that composes you as a perfect individual. So when you maintain the health in a perfect way, when you maintain the health in the perfect order, definitely your performance will be the best one. So the key to this performance, this wellness, is your gut. Gut means from your mouth to the anal region, the entire canal from the mouth to the anal region. That is the gut. So whatever you eat and whatever you excrete, that maintains your body component. So the mouth decides what goes in, and that is guided by, that is guarded by your mind. So when you eat something, there are lots of disturbances yet again. Please do mute yourself. And the host can mute. Host can mute. Host can mute all the
phone आ
participants.
रहा है हेलो हेलो ओके
When we eat something, it gets partially digested in the mouth and goes to the stomach, and from stomach to the intestine, from in the intestine, large intestine, and the small intestine, and the later large intestine, and there is a sac later which actually stores stool component, and finally that will get excreted. These are the events which will go on when we eat something. And the way we eat, what we eat, how much we eat, and what composition we eat, that decides our basic health. So that's why I tell you the key factor to our health is our mouth. The key way or the gateway of our health is our mouth. And when we maintain this possibility, when we maintain whatever we eat in a proper way, the gut, the entire digestive system becomes healthy. And that will lead to a proper digestion, proper absorption, assimilation, and later on, a good composition in the tissue so that each and every factor required to the body is reached. The target is reached by, maybe it is a carbohydrate or a fat or a vitamin or a protein or a hormone, maybe even they are synthesized in a proper manner and they reach to the target tissue. So these target tissues, when they are enriched with adequate supply, they make their function in a better way. So they boost up their energy levels, which is nothing but an immunity factor. So immunity is not just for these pandemic situation. Immunity is a day-to-day event, every moment event. We need to have immunity. We need to have resistance every day because we are always uh, exposed to several kinds of organisms, several kinds of infective agents, several kinds of antigens, several kinds of allergic factors. So whenever we are exposed to, whenever we come across such component which will damage our tissue, which will damage our body component, definitely our body reacts to it, and how our body reacts to it depends on what we eat, what we follow. So a better tissue component gives a better fighting ability towards these organisms or otherwise an allergic agent. So that leads to, when our body tissue is won over, it wins the fight against an antigen or an infective agent. Naturally, it leads to a robust health. And only a robust health can do a best performance, whether it is a body or mind. When we are well organized with the body and mind, then only we can do the best. A sick mind or a sick body cannot do its function in a good way. So our functioning ability comes down when the health goes down. So the first key of our health is our mouth. The entry point is mouth. So how do we make it? We have to decide what suits to me. Over the period of time, we are not children. Definitely we can decide what suits to me, what doesn't suit to me, what causes me acidity, what causes me indigestion, what causes me throat irritation, what causes me allergic impact. Everything we can definitely make out. So that way we have to start segregating the food. And as much as possible, we need to eat local food because our genes are made for such a food which is adjusted to our body. maybe our intestines, maybe our villi of the intestine, the absorbing factor of our intestine, maybe the amino acid structure which is getting formed in our body, they are adjusted to particularly the pattern of food we eat. When we make a foreign body, a foreign which is not at all adjusted to our body, if we eat it, our genes may fail to recognize it, or otherwise make a delay to recognize it, or wrongly recognize it. That's how the disturbance starts. That is why we need to always eat local, which is from our ancestors, which is from our family, which is from our local region. So regional food and local foods, local fruits have to be eaten, local vegetables have to be eaten. And when to eat? Timely food. It is not that it is 1 o'clock lunchtime and go. It is not like that. It is 8 o'clock, have a breakfast and go. It is not so. If we have eaten something, we will come to know whether it is digested completely or not. We will get a clear burp. We will get emptiness in our stomach. That is the indication that our, we are still having the appetite, and that is the indication of our hunger. Then we need to eat. Then we should not delay and we have to eat. That is timely food actually. Purvana jirnasya eva. When we have eaten food and that is digested completely, then only we are supposed to eat the next food. That is timely food. And how much to eat? Only adequate. Ayurveda divides our stomach capacity into 3 divisions. One division for the solid material, second division for the liquid material, and the third division has to be kept empty. That is for proper peristaltic movement and proper supporting digestive mechanism. So we need to see that we should not eat excessively. We should not eat very less. We have to maintain that adequacy in our food. Okay, and then the processing, and then the contents, what we eat, even that matters. And apart from this, proper timely eating, proper time sleeping habit. Sleep is, see, there are 3 pillars of our life to maintain health: ahara, nidra, and brahmacharya. Ahara is the food factor, what we eat, what goes through our mouth. Nidra is adequacy of sleep, which will make our tissues whether to grow properly or go in a downward direction, whether to have a positive energy or a negative energy, whether to have a positive upsurgement of the components or a negative decline of the components. So sleep decides that. And during sleep itself, old chemicals, unwanted chemicals, extra accumulated chemicals get vanished. They are flushed off and the new surge of chemicals happen. So sleep, adequate sleep for an adult, 7 hours to 8 hours adequate sleep is required. But when to sleep? It is not 1 a.m. in the morning. It is not 2 a.m. in the morning. We need to sleep when the first yama of the ratri, that is the first 3 hours of after sunset. 6:30 is the sunset time. If you take, for example, in Bangalore, it is 9:30 to 10 o'clock, we need to sleep off. Right. And from then, we need to calculate 7 hours. So it will be 5 a.m. We need to get up by that time. That is Brahmi Muhurta. 4:30 to 5:30, 5:15 a.m. is Brahmi Muhurta. I tell you why it is so important for an artist. Right. When Brahmi Muhurta happens, by 2 a.m. in the morning, by 3 a.m. in the morning, maximum, all old chemicals, maybe it is pyruvic acid or lactic acid or old hormones which are not used, which remain as a scar in the tissues, they are over. They cannot do their function anymore. They need to be replaced by new chemicals, new energy factors. And these hormones, maybe it is growth hormone, maybe it is steroidal hormones, corticosteroids, or thyroid hormone. they are all released maximum at the latest by 3 a.m. And to settle and to reach entire target organ, they need another hour. Maybe by 4 a.m., everything is settled and we need to get into activity. We need to get into activity because they are steroidal hormones. They are very strong. If we don't get into activity by that time, they start showing mismanagement. It is as good as keeping a naughty boy inside a room, stuck or locked. He will not keep quiet. He will try to bang the door and damage all the things over there. Definitely, these hormones do the same thing. These chemicals do the same thing. So we need to get activated ourselves at the latest by 5 a.m., not after that. If we keep on sleeping at that time, even after that, even after Suryodaya, even after sunrise, definitely these chemicals become, naughty chemicals become notorious. We are giving scope for those chemicals to become notorious. That is why we need to wake up at Brahmi Muhurta. And these fresh chemicals are ready to accept anything. Anything. That's why if we study, if we do a practice, a vocalist does a very good vocal rehearsal. At that time, it is the best time to do because he will be having the maximum energy stored in the body and he can give the best. This is the best time to do manthan, to do a memorization because the hormones, the mind activity are like that. That is why an artist should practice everything in the early morning hours. That is the best practice. And of course, for a student also. And for coming to the next point, stress management. Yes, this is a very big topic indeed. Okay, if you allow me, I'll talk about 3 hours about stress management itself. But
Right.
stress management has to be done somehow by different techniques. Maybe it is yoga or meditation or regular exercise or diverting oneself or focusing on what you want to be.
Right.
Regular exercise to keep your body physically healthy, fit, then adequate water intake. For an artist, it is damn necessary. For anybody, it is necessary, not only for artists, adequate water because our body is made up of 70% of water. It is as good as our world, universe, which is made up of 70% of water. Yet pinde tad brahmande. That which is there in the body, that is there in the universe also. So we need to give adequate water so that extra chemicals are flushed off from the body. There will not be a scope for stagnation of any chemical if we give adequate water to our body. Then, dawn to dusk activities. I just give a brief about this. Brahmi Muhurta Uttishtet. We need to wake up at Brahmi Muhurta. Physical and spiritual compliance. Very important factor. We always focus on physical fitness. We go to gym, we jog, we do everything, but we do not uh, focus or we do not give importance to our mental health. We do not give importance to our spiritual and social health. There we fail many a times. A
Right.
hatta katta person will be failing in different kind of communicative abilities, in different kind of situation management abilities because of this reason. And we need to get spiritually compliant by regular practice of meditation or yoga techniques. We need to do that. And self-training, that is possible. Self-training is or self-personality development is also possible. And social well-being for an artist, it is exceptionally required because an artist has to mingle with the people, has to become social, has to go into the crowds many a times. And if he is not able to face the crowd, definitely he will fail in his performance also. So he has to maintain that. Whatever the mental status may be, whatever the situation may be, whatever things going may be, maybe his instrument is broken, he has to maintain that composed nature. And that is what is the best quality of an artist. If his, I remember S.P. Balasubramaniam being referred in one of the interviews, that his flute artist takes a different tone flute instead of one which is required, a long big one required, and it goes very wrong.
Right.
Immediately Balu sir replaces him with his vocal humming, and later on he mentions that it happens to everybody, even I have done such a mistake, not to worry about. That is the composedness of artist. We need to have that. Everybody cannot become Balu sir, but definitely we have to move in that path. And we need to keep ourselves calm and composed to have the best performance. Otherwise it is not possible. Whatever the raga, whatever the sargam we have remembered, memorized, everything goes off if we are completely tensed up, excited about. So we need to keep ourselves calm and composed. And according to Ayurveda, what is health? It is not health in WHO is mentioned as, it is not just absence of disease. It is physical, mental, and social well-being. Ayurveda goes still further about this. Samadosha are functional entities in the body like Vata, Pitta, Kapha, Sattva, Raja, Tama. Okay, Sattva is not dosha, Raja, Tama. Everything, all these factors, if they are doing their activities best. Tama, Agni, that is metabolic activity in the body, metabolic components which do their best. Samadhatu, the tissue compliance. Malakriya, the excretory happiness. It is not only the stool, it is urine, it's sweat. And through sweat we will be, it is even the earwax, maybe the secretions in the eyes. Whatever has to be thrown out, that has to be thrown out.
Right.
It should not be stagnant in the body. So these excretory actions, like for example, if 9 months are over, even the baby has to be thrown out. Otherwise it acts like a foreign body.
Right.
It acts like an unwanted material to the body, and it starts pushing it out. The baby has to be excreted. It has to be delivered. We don't use the word excreted. It has to be delivered. So timely evacuation is required in the body for complete cleanliness of the body. Body has to maintain its cleanliness inside. And then later on, he comes to the point, prasanna atma indriya manaha. This is not there in any other science. We need prasanna atma, pleasant mind, pleasant soul, contented soul. This is what is exactly Atmanirbharata, I tell you. This is what is the meaning of Atmanirbharata. Prasanna atma indriya. Indriya is sense organs, sensory abilities. From the sensory aspects, what we do, what we perform, what commands we give to our hands, what commands we give to our tongue. So we need to maintain that. And thoughts, mana, prasanna mana. Whatever we express on our face, it is different. What goes in our mind is different. Looking at you, I can think of, I need to slap this person. I need to do something damage to this person. I may think. This is very different. So the thought process we make, the nurturing we make in our mind, that decides our hormones level. Maybe the positive thoughts, I'll come to the next slide also, the positive thoughts which surge positive hormones and negative thoughts which surge negative hormones, that has a great impact, influence on our body health, mind health. Okay, so we need to keep these very balanced, and then only dosha, agni, dhatu, malakriya, and atma, indriya, mana, prasannata. These are the components which are said to be the healthy status of the body. This is what is I wanted. This has been a viral thing on the WhatsApp maybe. The negative energy is what we complain about, what we think about other people, be it laziness, procrastination, or being worried about, being stressed about, or being impatient about something, or egoistic, or regretting something, not to allow other person to grow, selfishness or greediness. All these are the negative energies. And I tell you, in every field it is there. It is not only with the artist. It is there in Ayurvedic field, it is there in medical field, it is there in almost all the fields. Okay, so we have to learn to replace it with positive energy. We have to allow others to grow. So we should not grow like a banyan tree. You know, banyan tree, how it grows? It grows and grows and grows, and it only leaves its own roots outside, and it becomes stronger and stronger. It spreads its branches like anything, and it doesn't allow anything else to grow underneath. No other tree grows, no other plant grows beneath the banyan tree. Its roots are so strong. Its pillar roots are so strong. Offshoots are so strong that it doesn't allow other tree to grow at all. So naturally, we need to understand that if we act like banyan tree, we will fail as an artist. We need to understand as a grown-up elder or grown-up adult. We need to understand that this is what is learning zone. It doesn't come by books. It is individualistic. It is customized. We have to understand what is me, what do I need, where do I have to stand, and what is my role. And then exactly as a family member or a community member or a business partner or an artist, what is my duty now? At this moment, think only about now, not about if you are present now, that is by your luck. That is by the grace of God. If you are present now, you are going to be in the later situation also. So be thankful and move on. And try that every moment you are present. This is the requirement at this pandemic situation. You are present. Your presence at every moment is required. A moment of carelessness, a moment of negligence can take you somewhere else.
Right.
That definitely has to be understood by every person, and the responsibility towards that is very high. We need not get scared about, but as an individual, what best I can contribute to my family, to my friends, to my community, and to my country, of course. That has to be understood. And to understand all these, we need to come to our roots again. Right. Again, we need to keep ourselves calm and composed. Then only we can take a better decision. Otherwise, we'll become, panic. A close associate is affected, we become panic.
True.
That doesn't give a proper decision. So whatever we eat, whatever we do, whatever we communicate with, that has to be properly guarded, properly guided by our mental forces, properly planned. Then we can, from learning zone to growth zone, we can move on. And we have seen many people have, earned a lot in terms of money, in terms of name, fame, during this pandemic also. The people who were unknown have become well known during this pandemic.
Right.
People who were having, 20 by 20 shops, now they are having malls. How come it is possible for them? We need to think in that way. As an artist, maybe it is a difficult situation, but social media and digital media is the best way to communicate. And I have to congratulate Mr. Abhijit Prahlad for this, for having this communication every now and then, and having this events organized every now and then. Maybe it is during August 15th, or during any other situation he has been organizing, and he stands a very good example for all of us. Definitely we have to learn that this is what we have to grow about, and that comes by our regular practice, regular composed mind, and of course maintenance of health. So we need to understand where we have to decide where we have to start, where we have to end, where we have to stand.
Right. I
And
think
that comes by a proper decision making. And this decision making is by a good health of body and mind. I always keep these two together. There is nothing like healthy body. Healthy body is possible with a healthy mind. Healthy mind is possible with a healthy body. These are inseparable components, and we have to understand, and we have to go hand in hand.
no, I think the very direction, right, from growing all the way, I mean, understanding what the strengths are, what is your fear zone, what is your capability zone, what is the potential, inner potential, external potential. I think this very situation has kind of brought the best out of us, has also showed what is the worst in us. It's
Exactly.
also kind of given us an opportunity to know the person who is next to us. Sometimes even at our homes, we kind of hardly engage with the kind of schedules most of the artists carry. I know several of them who are not in their homes for months, right? So a lot of artists travel around. So it is hardly sometimes a bonding issue, right? And I have heard very personal notes that, hey, this actually gave me a good time to spend time with my, my father who is like 80 plus, or my kid who is like 3 months old. I mean, though it is very natural, though this is part of lifestyle, I think at least this was actually an opportunity to kind of get back to what our plus and minuses are. And because of this,
Yes,
their
it
health has
has made us
also
to learn what is our strength and what is our weakness. It has
it
made us
has
to realize that.
I think some of them have actually been benefited on their health wise. They've been eating good food. They're getting their own family
Exactly.
lifestyles, more
Exactly.
care, more pampering, and whatnot. I think overall, in a way, it has got plus. Of course, there's a lot of minuses. We're all facing it in very common. But I mean, there's a lot of opportunities that one has to keep hunting with a lot of things that we do. I think it's right there, right. It has always been there in our practices, in our lifestyles, the way things we follow at homes. I think uh, taking on those pointers, I think I know there's a lot more little bit if you can also cover as a overview for now, and then we can
Only
start.
one or two slides remaining.
Absolutely.
So,
Sure.
huh. I take an example how Ayurveda can benefit in health sector. I take an example of a tabla player or a percussionist.
Sure.
If we take an example of a tabla player, what are the body parts which are involved in playing while he is in action? It is starting from the digits, the fingertips, the interphalangeal joints, the entire digital joints, the metacarpal joints, carpal joints, the wrist, the elbow, forearm, then the arm, the shoulder girdle, the entire girdle, then the neck, then completely the neck posture, and the back posture, and the hip joint when he is sitting or continuously standing. And when he is sitting cross-legged, the artist usually sits down and he crosses his legs and sits on Indian asana system. So that is another aspect. Knee joint, the ankle joint, the feet, everything is under his command. So we have to understand when he is playing, it is not only the fingers which are playing, it is entire body which is involved in. So for this, and definitely the fingers are at maximum stress because they are playing hard on the instrument. And the shoulders which are lifted up, it is away from the anatomical position.
Right.
So definitely they are under stress. The wrist which is resting on the instrument, that is under stress.
Right.
these areas which are under stress, there is a possibility that they go into degenerative aspect in early age.
Right.
The joints may go into sclerosis or osteoarthritis changes may start. So we have to take care of this is what is customized care for an artist. So he has to take care of his fingers, he has to take care of his arms, he has to take care of his backbone and the hip joint every now and then. And what is the possibility he has? Of course, to maintain the calmness and composed mind, he can go for Shirodhara meditation and yoga techniques and
Right.
regular exercise. What kind of exercise? It is not only jogging or walking, it is completely a pack of exercise which is required. Maybe it is Surya Namaskar, maybe it is the various kinds of yogasanas and meditation which is required. And to maintain the calmness of mind, Shirodhara, an Ayurvedic specialized technique will definitely help. And to keep his metabolic activities very good and
Right.
composed in tissue compliance is brought about. That is by detoxification. We call it as Panchakarma procedure. So 5 different kind of body cleansing procedures. He can go for detoxification at least once a year.
Right.
And weight gain, a very worst thing to happen for an artist. And everybody, I tell you repeatedly, everybody will not be blessed like Balu sir. He used to eat anything he wanted. He was a foodie fellow and he used to eat whatever he wanted. But any other vocalist will not do so.
True.
He was blessed, he was gifted.
True. True. True.
Any other vocalist will not do so. They will bother about their throat health. So,
True.
weight gain, thyroid problems, or hypothyroid or hyperthyroid, and then steroidal variations in the hormones, they are all, they are affecting the performance of the artist. They are affecting the mental health. They are affecting the stress levels in the body
True.
as well as mind. So we have to see that we do not gain extra weight. So all these aspects, correction of metabolic errors, maybe it is diabetes or a small grade inflammatory process which will be going on once we start gaining weight, or any kind of hypertension or cardiac, any kind of problems,
Right.
we have to tackle it. We have to see that they do not happen to us. And if they, by any chance, they happen to us, we have to maintain that. And controlling acidity and indigestion, healthy gut to healthy body and mind. Acidity and indigestion, they completely vary the pH level, they completely vary the mucosal layer, they completely vary the digestion process, absorption, assimilation process. So we need to have a control command over what we eat so that acidity and indigestion do not develop.
Right.
So with these, I stop my presentation. We will move on to our question and answers um, section, so that
Absolutely.
uh,
No. No.
I request many people who have been participating to put their queries in chat, and so that Abhijit ji will read out, so that I try to answer as much as possible.
No. I think
Hope the
before
session
that.
was useful.
Absolutely. No, I was about to say that this is one such area, one such topic. We, I think, on receiving side today, at least, I just want to keep listening to understand right from the way things have been impacting to what can be possible, the new approach, what can be to the future. I mean, the health and wellness, the kind of the topic itself is so broad. I think. If I just start discussing one, I'm sure you have several examples, several ways, and several approaches to it,
Yeah,
customized to each condition, right? Every individual has their conditions, and I think there's no end, there's no generic way, but yes, there is to some extent generic ways, like lifestyles, how do you eat, what do you eat. uh, Doctor's view of giving a right answer varies. So I mean, I would only take this opportunity to kind of thank you once again. You have tried to cover major parts in a very swift way, very direct way, to help us understand what can be the kind of hope that we can expect to reversal and get back to normal at the earliest. I mean, it's also about re-relishing and making ourselves more productive with better lifestyles, better food and habits, suggestions that you kind of shared. But again, a lot of questions, a lot of people have it. I think we'll take one or two questions now, and we will continue to take more questions if there are more, if time permits. But I'll happy to share all the questions that we get to you, and if possible we will try to kind of connect. That also is something that we want to do, because like I said, there's many questions already that have come across, and many people still want to kind of get some personal information as well. So the idea was to give everyone, whoever is present today, to give a high level inputs of what is the idea, what is the kind of things that we all have to take up. What ma'am, I think, also suggested is to kind of improvise better lifestyle, see the strengths in yourself, rise up, awake in the Brahmi Muhurta, help yourself detox, right? Help yourself with several physical exercises, get to the chart that dawn to dusk. I mean, there is a lot of potential, a lot of strength that you all can take benefits in your lifestyle itself, right? So that, with that said, I think we'll take one or two questions that is out in the chat now. um, all right. So, can thyroid problem be reversed, cured, so that taking pills can be stopped? Please tell cure through Ayurveda. That's a question from Kavita.
Dear Kavita, yes, thyroid can be reversed, and I am the best example for that. I have reversed my thyroid issue, which started about 8 years ago after birth of my child, and due to a lot of hectic professional events which was happening. I was in charge principal and academic head, so there used to be a very tight, heavy schedule for me. So at that time, I developed hypothyroidism, and I am the best example. Without any medication so far, not even a single pill, I have maintained it. And right now, before 2 months, I have checked my TSH is 4.13. So it is completely normal. Yes, it can be reversed. And many people hesitate to say about themselves, but I give myself as an example because I'm very right in front of you. So I can give myself as best example.
Wonderful.
I don't
Wonderful.
hesitate to do so.
So, answer is yes, it is reversible. So, it is going to be treatable. Wonderful to know that. So, we have next question. Well, this is about we are an artist. How do we maintain discipline health wise with our busy schedules? Well, can fall in the kind of a generic note, but I think overview that we had over last 1 hour or so, maybe ma'am can summarize that. That way, it is going to be applied for I mean everyone, every professional.
See, everybody will be busy. Everybody will be having target. But any target, any schedule, any duty, it is not above our health. APJ Abdul Kalam used to say, we need to work for the company. That's all. We need to work for the company. Don't think yourself as the company. Come
Right.
out of it and have a good family of you. You have a family, you have some other things to do. You are no, alone, not a company. So we need to understand that. We have to restrict. We have to restrict. We have to learn to say no to something.
Right.
That is the best way to keep ourselves mentally healthy. Otherwise, we get yielded by several things. Maybe it is habituation, maybe it is procrastination, or maybe it is uh, association of several other things. We need to learn to say no. Maybe it is for greed also. Maybe it is extra ambitious nature also. We need to say. And that's how we can maintain. We have to understand what is my reach. I told you earlier also, everybody cannot become Balu sir.
Right.
Yes, I cannot become Lata Mangeshkar ji. Definitely, I have to understand. I have to, what is my limit? Being ambitious is not good, is not wrong, but being overly ambitious and greedy for that and looking down upon all other things is bad. We need to grow, definitely. We need to be positively aspirant, but that aspiration should not eat our piece of mental aspect, mental health, mental peace. We have to see that the aspiration should not eat ourselves.
Well said. I think you fairly touched one of the next following questions that was about how to handle mental stress. Limit your aspirations, know what is your strength, know what is your
Yes,
weakness, so that you right there you kind of start balancing, so that you don't get end up with issues like depressions and few other burnout or exhaustions kind of issues, which is very quite normal. I think looking at the way which situation and the kind of lifestyles we are all in, it's highly dependable, right? Sometimes somebody else's action is going to stress you a lot more than your own reactions. I think kind of stay away, avoid whatever best that can free up your mind. It all's part of our lifestyles as well. I think fewer activities that you also suggested, like yoga, and lot of other several means, right? I think that can also, uh, I mean, individual have their options, which
I
best suits.
remember one of movies of Amitabh Bachchan here.
Sure.
बाहर है प्रॉब्लम, अंदर है प्रॉब्लम, आगे पीछे आजू बाजू प्रॉब्लम ही प्रॉब्लम, डोंट वरी बी हैप्पी. Yes,
Don't worry.
we
Yeah.
have to learn that. We need to learn that. Just shred off something which is not suiting to us, which is costing our mental peace and health. We have to learn to shred it off. Just shrug it, shed it, wither it off, move on. That's it. And we need to learn what is my limitation. That is the best thing.
Well, I think we kind of got overview of most of the pointers. I mean, any more question is going to be definitely, I feel is kind of covered, but still will be more specifically answering, and we'll be happy to take those questions that we continue to receive to you. And we'll try the best to kind of share the feedback and the responses to the audience that are presenting here. With that said, thank you from us, from the team Arted, for this very opportunity to be part of this event. I mean, I can only say we've just started to learn the what is exactly the health and wellness, how that is going to be everything that we have to be counting in the futures and situations like COVID come arise, right? So I think we'll our number one priority to kind of start everything with your own health and wellness, and then take up everything else. I think I would strongly suggest everyone who's part of this event today. That said, again, thank you so much, ma'am, for all the inputs, all the suggestions, very high level, and the details that you have gone through in some of the critical areas. I'm sure this is going to benefit artists present, and for everyone who kind of check out this information. We'll be sharing the recorded version as well on our YouTube channel and all other social means. For all the audience, in case if you have missed it, please feel free to reach out. And likewise, any other questions, we'll be happy to connect. Thank you so much for all the audience, all the participants for your time, and also sorry for our issues that happened some time back. So we will try to fix that. But thank you so much. Thank, thanks
Thank
once
you once
again.
again, Abhijit ji, for having given me this opportunity to share a few of my experiences and understanding what I had in the health sector. Thank you so much. And you're doing a very great job indeed, organizing people in this way. It boosts up many young hearts, maybe. Yes,
Appreciate all your support and all the kind words. Thank you very much. I look forward to talking to you. Bye. Thank you.
sure, sure. Can I leave?
Yes, yes. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks
Thank you.
again.